Ain't turning back. Now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word for it. Put a couple bands on it. And I don't plan on letting people turn me. No. You can say what you want. I'ma keep pressing on. I came about that thing like I'm feeling green, right? Talking to my past life. Focus on my great life. Cruising to my future.
Welcome to Breaking the Silence. Thank you for joining us here once again on this program. We have such a great time here on the program, and we love that you join us each and every day, you faithful viewers out there. And for those who are just now tuning in, thank you for tuning into our program. We have a great show in store for you, but before we talk about what we're doing on the show today, let us introduce ourselves. So my name is Francisca.
I'm Nori.
And I'm Angelique.
And we are Breaking the Silence. Like I said, this show is never disappoints. We always have great topics, great conversation here on the program, and today is going to be no different. All right, so today we're going to be doing Empowered Echo. So in that segment, we're going to be kind of putting our own twist on very well-known quotes. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. But we are going to have a guest here on the program today, Forbes Riley. She is the queen of pitch. That is her. That is her right there. We cannot wait to be able to get over there on the couches and speak to you. So definitely stay there. We will be with you shortly. But we are definitely going to be getting into all kinds of topics with her because she has been in acting. She has been on Broadway.
Everywhere.
She has been on QVC. Yes, she has worn so many hats. But she is going to give such great conversation. I just feel like this interview is just going to give everything that we need today. So definitely make sure that you have your pen and paper next to you to take notes, because I know that she's going to be dropping some knowledge here on Breaking the Silence for all of us. So definitely stay tuned in, get yourself a snack, tell the kids to go play so that you can be watching Breaking the Silence uninterrupted. All right, so we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Ready to love again, but worried the past will hold you back? Join Breaking the Silence as we guide you through crucial steps to inner healing before stepping into your next relationship. Step 1. Reflect and release. Acknowledge the past to pave the way for a brighter future. Step 2. Rediscover joy within yourself. Your passions are the key to unlocking a fulfilling life. Step 3. Build a support system. Connect with those who uplift you on your journey to healing. Don't face life's challenges alone. Find your tribe, break the silence, and join the conversation.
We know it's not an easy thing to do. So be kind to yourself, be merciful to yourself.
Because at the end of the day, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you have to be comfortable with you.
This is where I am. My heart, even though it's wounded, even though I've done something, this is what I need to be happy.
Sometimes, all it takes is a conversation.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
All right, let's get into Empowered Echo. I always want to do echo.
Echo. Okay, you needed that
I
feedback.
can't, and I was going to resist it, but then I said it.
Echo.
And I was like, no, echo.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Come on, Lori, join us.
Come on.
No, I'm definitely not going to join.
Boring. All right, so this is our segment, Empowered Echo, where we read a quote, a famous quote, and kind of put our own little spin on it, all right?
All right.
All right, so we're going to read a couple quotes. Let's get into our first quote, which is, "Don't ever think I fell for you or fell over you. I didn't fall in love, I rose in it." From Toni Morrison, novelist and Pulitzer's Prize recipient. So basically, it's like I rose to love. Like I felt like I deserved the love. I grew into the love, right? Now you fall into it.
Right.
Because then it's like you go into the bottom.
Yeah.
You trip over it. Like
Yeah.
that's a negative thing, right?
Yeah.
But when you rise to something, it's like you grow into it.
Exactly.
You rise to it. I don't know, it brings a whole nother level to it. But all these other ones, you fell, I fell for you, I fell over you, I did, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a negative thing. You just falling deeper and deeper into a hole.
But when you rise in it, it just gives a whole different meaning to it.
It's like a happy feeling, a light feeling. But when you fell over somebody, you fell into somebody, what does that mean? I don't want to fall into something.
Yeah.
I want to rise to it.
I like that.
So I like that. That's a different twist on it.
Alrighty.
And when you love, you don't want to put another person down. You want to rise together with a person.
There you go.
Yeah, not fall together with
Yeah,
the person.
exactly.
Knock the person over.
Right.
You're going to love me.
Oh, goodness
You're
gracious.
gonna love me or not? You're gonna fall or not? Anyways.
All right.
Well,
All
we
right,
got
let's look at
another
our next
empowered quote, and this is coming from Dr. Mae Jemison, first African-American female astronaut. And she says like this: never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. Because there will be, like when you, we're going to be talking about pitching later on with Forbes. And some people, when you pitch your dream to another person or, you know, somebody who would not understand, but they don't imagine it as you. So don't be limited by what people's imaginations are, or the dreams that they have for themselves or even for you, and you become limited to that, because she became the first African American female astronaut. So, you know, she's not only thinking about space, but more than that. So I think this is really powerful, especially for those who have dreams that, and you have like everything against you, you know, against all odds, and it's kind of like stopping you from actually achieving that dream.
Okay. All right. I like that one. All right. Thank you for that one, Angie.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Dr.
And we
May.
do have our next quote, which is actually from Nina Simone. She is a songwriter and pianist. And it says, "You've got to learn to leave the table when love's no longer being served." This here is, for me, is like, wow, it's powerful, because when you really look at the meaning of love, it's not a feeling, it's an action. It's a well-grounded action. It's something that you do consciously. It's something that entails so many things. You know, whenever you talk about love, whenever you say you love someone, it's not a feeling, but it's something that, you know, you're willing to do whatever it takes to see the well-being of that person, to make sure that person is okay. Things that you're willing to give up, things that you're willing to sacrifice, things that you're willing to kind of compromise for everyone's well-being. So when that is no longer being served, then you don't need to be afraid, or you shouldn't apologize for getting up and leaving the table. You have to do what you have to do. At the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're okay in all areas, in all sense of the word. So for me, that's what this quote kind of means to me.
Exactly.
So,
Never
I like
be
that.
afraid to walk away from a relationship or a situation that is no longer serving you. If the love is not there, then why are you staying? It's not going to come back.
Exactly.
It's not going to come back. And then they say if you leave and it comes back to you, then it was meant to be. But don't just stay. Right? Because then that other person that you're in the relationship with will take advantage of you, and they're not going to take you serious because you're not taking yourself serious in the relationship. Because they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They're just trying to see if they're going to be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
So we actually have one more quote. One more quote. This is from Booker T. Washington, educator, I can't say that word. Philanthropist. founder of Tuscany University. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. And I love this because it's like success is not a straight line. It's not like you're going to succeed and you're going to have no troubles. It's all about getting back up.
Right.
It's about failing. It's about getting back up. That's what the journey of success is all about. It's how many times you get up. Like they say, it doesn't matter how many times you've been knocked down. It's how many times you get up that really matters. And that is what gives you strength. That is what empowers you to be able to keep going. That's what I think this quote is saying.
Because for me, there is no success without failure. In order to reach that success, you know, you're going to go through obstacles as it says here. You're going to go through obstacles. You're going to go through situations. But the key thing here is that no matter what, you always keep going. You always keep pushing. You know, just move all those barriers out the way and you just keep going towards that goal. You overcoming these obstacles is what is making you successful, not actually the thing that you were able to accomplish, but what you were able to do in order to get there. Because as you go towards success, you know, it's molding you. It's molding you to have good character. It's molding you to have endurance and so many good things. So I like this one. I like this quote.
This quote is very, very powerful. And I am sure that our guest is definitely going to have some information to give us that definitely will talk about having to get back up. She has definitely achieved a lot of things, but I'm sure she also went through some struggles. So in fact, we are going to be going over to Forbes Riley here in just a moment. We're going to take a commercial break and we're going to be right back with her. So you're definitely not going to want to miss this interview.
Don't change the channel. We will be right back.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
All right, welcome back to Breaking the Silence. I am so excited to get this interview started, and I know all of you out there are too. So let us welcome Forbes Riley to the program. Forbes, thank you so much.
Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for joining us. And I love the fact that you changed your background to match our set. It is looking great. You are one of us.
Well, they call me the queen of pitch, so purple is definitely our color.
There you go, and you rock it well. All right, so here on Breaking the Silence, we always like to ask our guests our question of the day. Usually we have the question of the day for our viewers, but this time we're going to ask you and see your response. Are you ready?
Always born ready.
All right, let's get into it. So the question of the day is, who is the smartest person you've ever met?
All right, so this answer might surprise you, but I'm going to say my 22-year-old daughter, who at 17 came downstairs. She was doing COVID upstairs in our house and said, "Mom, let's start a company." And I'm like, "You're 17, you haven't even graduated high school yet." She's like, "Yeah, well, you don't realize that I've been traveling with you and I've already coded sites and built websites for Les Brown and Joe Theismann, and you're the only one who doesn't help you get online." I'm like, "Really?" So we started a coaching company. She said she wanted to make $1 million by the time she was 18. She'd put it in her Google Calendar when she was 12. And on her 18th birthday, it popped up, and we had already gotten a 2 Comma Club $1 million award for building one funnel. She then started this company called GSD. She is 22 years old, owns 2 companies, mega millionaire, and she's done it on her own. So McKenna Riley, you are the smartest person that I know, and I'm grateful to work with her every day.
That is awesome. That is amazing.
I know you must be a proud mama.
I know she is.
Proud.
So proud. It has been her and her twin brother. Both are in business together. They own one company. She and I own a different company. We have a new book coming out that she's co-authoring with me. And I'm not kidding. She is definitely, she also, okay, one more thing, and I don't know how you guys felt about this, but when she was about 16, she comes downstairs like, Mom, can I have $100 for Bitcoin? I'm like, I'm not giving you $100 for, I don't know what that is. She said, well, I can't open an account. I have to be 18. I'm like, no. When Bitcoin hit $66,000, she's like, Mom, remember that thing where I wanted you to buy it for 100? I think Bitcoin went up to $110,000 per coin. I could have owned 10 of them. I didn't. So she's a whole lot smarter than her mother.
Wow, wow. All right, well, that is interesting. All right, so let us switch gears because I heard that you are called the Queen of Pitch. So tell us, how did you first discover your passion for sales and pitching?
God, it's fascinating because I started my career as an actress and a television host. Many of you have seen me on shows like As the World Turns, the TV series 24, Boy Meets World. I wanted to just be Julia Roberts or Sandra Bullock and I would have been very happy. I worked on Broadway. I did all of that. I even hosted the comedy, The Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. I have some eclectic careers. But somehow when the career got a little quiet, I walked into an audition one day and it said, sell me this pen. And I saw him on the desk, and I don't sell. I didn't grow up with a whole lot of money. I grew up as an ugly, awkward little girl. I had a broken nose when I was growing up for about 8 years of my life. I had braces the entire 8 years. I had a tongue structure for 2 of those years. I couldn't even talk. And unlike the beautiful group of girls I'm looking at, I didn't have a whole lot of friends. So I was a very quiet, reserved kid who was very happy I was going to be a lawyer at some point. And a gentleman looked at me one day when I was in college. I had auditioned for the play As You Like It, the biggest Shakespeare role that he ever wrote for a woman. And I auditioned. I auditioned for lots of plays. I got chorus. I got townsperson number 3. And this time I got the lead in the show. And I went to my professor and I said, excuse me, but did you make a mistake? And he's like, no, you are my absolute embodiment of this character. And he started to tell me all the things that he saw in me that no one else had seen because they were so busy looking at, I was a little chunky, I had big fat frizzy hair, blah, blah, blah. Professor David Richmond was 100% legally blind. So the first man to ever see me only saw the inside of me, and it set me on a path. And so one day when I got to this audition, I looked at this pen and thought, oh God, I don't like to sell. And I said, you know, a funny thing about pens, let me grab one right here, but pens. I got to college, I skipped a year of high school, and my mom used to write me longhand notes every day because I was so shy and so insecure. And I realized a pen like this could reach out and touch somebody's heart. Jake, a body by Jake, comes out from behind the camera, grabs my face, you're gonna make me a lot of money. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, for 5 years, 1,500 products later, I am writing and talking about health and wellness and fitness products because I have this weird, unique ability. Like some people can hear music and play the piano. This is my thing. If you give me any product, anything, I can look at the camera and sell it. I've sold over $2.5 billion worth of products. I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's been a phenomenal career thanks to infomercials and live home shopping. And that's what I do. And I'm pretty good at it.
Wow. That is amazing. You said 2.5 billion in sales and 197 infomercials. Wow.
Oh, yeah, you've seen me on the Jack LaLanne Juicer with Montel, with George Foreman. You name them, I was there. I even gave Kim Kardashian, if you go to YouTube and check out my channel, Kim Kardashian and Forbes Riley, I gave her first TV appearance, and it was an infomercial for a steam iron I did.
Wow. I gotta give you, I gotta clap my hands to you because it's not easy to be talking and selling all of those things for so long, because I've seen QVC and HSN before, and it is not easy to make those sales, but y'all make it look like effortless.
I know.
Well, because it's part of my DNA. I just get it. And that's not why I teach pitching, because I seem to understand what it takes and I watch people pitch. But I'll tell you what, it's more than just pitching. And I'll go to you, Francesca, do me a favor. Answer this question. You're at a networking event. Somebody says, what do you do? What do you say?
I work in television.
Great. And I would say, why did you tell me that? And here's the exact, you fell into the exact trap that everybody does.
Yeah.
That if you tell people what you do, they don't really care. They really care what you can do for them. So if you said, hey, you know what, as someone who works in television, I love doing interviews, and if you've got a great story, perhaps come on my show, Breaking the Silence.
Okay.
Boom. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that's exciting, engaging, and enrolling.
Right.
And so many people them just tell you what they do with no end to it. And that, my friend, is a pitch. So I have a new book coming out about this because I think everybody pitches all the time. They just don't realize it. And if you harness that power, you can be more successful. For example, I have a beautiful husband. He turns to me in the morning and I'm like, honey, could you rub my neck? If he says yes, that's a pitch. I got a yes. If you could do that in every aspect of your life, whether you're a kid asking for a cookie, college person interviewing, or there's my beautiful husband, Joshua, I will share with you that getting anything and everything you want is your ability to pitch.
But Forbes, let me ask you this question, because in the early days, for example, in business, I know you mentioned that you have this talent, this skill that you know, like once you look at a product or something that you can sell it. However, were there like some embarrassing moments or maybe some surprising moments that you felt like, oh no, this is not me, like I'm supposed to do better? Like in the early days when, you know, you were just starting.
Oh, let me tell you, while I appreciate that, I've never had that. I came out of the gate and I have been working eclectically all over the place. I worked on soap operas, I worked on Broadway, I walked on a home shopping, and I even created a fitness product called a Spin Gym here, which is kind of a crazy product. I've sold 2.5 million of those. Wow. I have a very huge win category. And I will tell you, once I discovered that my gift is about communication. And this is what nobody could understand. When I was in Hollywood, they like to pigeonhole you. You were either a TV host or an actress. I mean, I've hosted everything from the X Games for ESPN, my own talk show, I had a dog game show, and I had a national radio show interviewing classic rock stars. And agents and people would look at that going, well, Forbes, wait, what do you do? And what I concluded is I love to communicate. And it doesn't matter to me what platform it's ever been on. But for the outside world, it was like, wait, we see you at this comedy club, we see you on television, we see you at the sports arena, and now you're on home shopping crushing sales. So the only part of that has been, it's a little bit embarrassing, or not embarrassing, but for other people to try and pigeonhole me, and that never worked out very well. And now what you're looking at is the fact that I took all of these skills and I put them on stage. I now travel the world as a motivational speaker. That particular video is me in front of 10,000 people. You're gonna see me walk out on a stage in my mid-50s, rocking a dress, because at some point I just discovered I didn't want to be that ugly, awkward little girl. And everything changed when I discovered who I was in my early 20s.
Wow, you are amazing. Oh my goodness. Listen, I did watch one of your presentations, and in your presentation you said pitching is a way of life. So my question to you is, listen, how? Give me some tips, give me some scenarios when it comes to pitching, you know, in an everyday thing, at work or at home, or give me some scenarios.
You have children?
No, I don't. I'm married.
Okay. All right, well, it's the same kind of thing. They need to be controlled. So, for example, pitching is kind of a funny thing. You want your husband to do something, or if you want your kids, because your watchers have kids. So I never had a problem with my kids cleaning their room because I know how to pitch. What does that mean? Most moms go upstairs and clean your room. If I don't see that, you're not getting blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of a threatening kind of thing. Well, here's the secret to pitching. Stop telling people what they need. They don't need your vitamin. They don't need your new car. They don't even need your house. What do they get them to want what you have? And that is a practicable skill. It's why I spend a lot of my time right now teaching. I've got over 47,000 clients because I love the art of teaching this. So I would say to my kids, hey, you know what? Guys, I have a special dessert. I made a little chocolate pudding. If you want dessert tonight, make sure I can see that whole side of your room completely clean. They would race upstairs. They would race each other because they're twins to who could clean their room first. There's a sense of joy and excitement because they wanted something. So as soon as a kid tells you that they want something, same thing with your husband, what does he want? You know what, honey? You want a really lovely dinner? I would like to see the trash magically leave the house. And you're like, oh, okay. And when you position it that way, people are like, all right, I'm happy to do. And so my world has been a very happy place because I understand you give people what they want and you get what you want.
That is amazing.
Very,
I like that.
Wise,
I like that.
Yeah. I really, really like that. And you mentioned a book. So you have the book Pitch Secrets A through Z, right? Shattering Limitations. what would you say are some common beliefs that really hold people back from excelling?
You know, number one, I'm not good enough. If I hear that one more time, I'm going to just smack somebody up the head. Here's what happens. Is that you base your belief systems on your parents, on the environment, and on what you hear, read, see, and believe. And I'm going to share with you that I have this philosophy that memories aren't real. So if anything in the past, I'm not interested in the past. In fact, ladies, do this for me. That's not my book, but you guys will see my book. Sorry, yeah, so Pitch Secrets A to Z is coming out, and I'm going to happily share a cover of that with you guys. But come back to me for a second. Guys, I want you to do something. I want you to take your hand, you're seeing all of my books, that's so cool. Take your hand right now, and if you would, where in space is your past? Let me see the three of you do that. Where in space is your past? I see this, I see a little, yeah, okay. Now here's the thing, I'm looking at how awkward your hand is. Do something, and everyone at home do this too. Take your hand this way and push it back where it belongs. Those memories, that kid bullying you, that thing in school you didn't do so good. Take your other hand and put it way out there. That's your future. So where you're going and where you've been, oh my gosh, expand that. Okay. And all of a sudden, your beliefs will begin to shatter. You're not what your mother said. She said, oh, you were fat, or you were this, you didn't look. You know what? You're who you are right now. In this present moment, if you stand there and say, I give myself permission to believe that I'm enough, to believe that my ideas matter, that my book deserves to be in everyone's hands, in every corporation, to believe that every mom and married person has a great relationship with their kids and their husband. I have a very powerful belief system. I work on it. I do affirmations every single day, and they start with this. I hereby grant myself permission to fill in the blank. What do you want permission to do right now? I want permission to be able to touch the entire world. I want permission to be, my voice is so loud that all the things that I went through in my past don't keep me from my future. You know, I love the title of your show, Breaking the Silence. And I don't know if you guys know, but I've gone through some serious tragedy in my life. Even though career-wise, it has been extraordinary. Eclectic, but extraordinary. But I raised a little boy that I got involved with from Big Brothers, Little Brothers, Big Brothers, Little Sisters in Los Angeles when he was 8. When he was 19 years old, and Dexter spent every weekend with me and my ex-husband. He was best man at my wedding. He was definitely my world. He was also a whole lot blacker than my skin. And I love this kid like he was mine. And 6 months after my twins were born, walking from a haircut to church, a kid walked up behind him who did not have a mentor like me and shot him 10 times in the back and left him for dead on the sidewalk. My wedding photo is on the cover of the LA Times. How do you get over that? My new husband and I were sadly eyewitnesses at the top of the Mandalay Bay on the foundation room to the shooting. I watched 58 people be murdered right down below me. How do you get over that? Yeah. And I'm going to share with it, so many people get stuck in something that's happened to them. And for me, I use all of that fuel to get my message and move forward, because we all deserve to have a light shine on us. And I'll just leave you with, I believe the worst part of your story is the best part of your pitch and the best part of the speech that you're going to give on stage. Don't cover it up. We live in a world of authenticity. And if you can connect and be vulnerable enough, like I just shared a very tragic story. Now, I'm not crying about it right now because the point is not to feel sorry for me. Right. The point of that story is that kids need mentors. They need to be loved on. They need to have purpose. And if we don't do that, they're going to do horrible things, maybe to somebody that you love. Yeah. So I'm on a mission that I think pitching is getting your idea out there. The three of you pitched each other to do this show. You pitched the network, the producers, you pitch your guests. You pitch every day, all day. And what I want people to leave my presence with is going, wow, if my ideas matter, and I believe I do, I deserve to get them out to the world. I should be able to pitch them with ease.
Wow.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
You have given us so much great information already, and the interview has just started. Yeah. So stay with us, Forbes, because we're actually going to have to take a quick break. Let our viewers digest everything that we've already talked about, write down their notes so they don't forget about all the great information you've given us. But before we go on our commercial break, I want to remind the viewers again about our question of the day. So the question of the day is, who is the smartest person you have ever met? And there is our QR code there on your screen, so you can go ahead and scan that. It will take you to our Instagram page at BreakingTheSilence_talkshow. There you can DM us your responses. And we love to hear from all of you, so don't be shy. Send in your responses. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Forbes.
will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Universal churches around the country are open daily. Come and participate in any of our multiple locations along the North Atlantic coast. Check out the location that's closest to you. Brooklyn, New York. Find us at 1091 Fulton Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11238. Newark, New Jersey. Located at 100 Clinton Avenue, Newark, New Jersey, 07114. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Along historic 3801 North Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19140. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Our address is 324 Madison Avenue, Bridgeport, Connecticut, 06604. Boston, Massachusetts. In the suburb of Roxbury, 70 South Hampton Street, Roxbury, Massachusetts, 02118. Come as you are for prayer, counseling, teaching, or just to experience an atmosphere of faith in God. For more locations, call us at 1-888-332-4141.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Real women, real talk. Breaking the silence is where it all goes down. Let's connect and empower together.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
All right, so welcome back to Breaking the Silence. So let's join this conversation once again with Forbes. So Forbes, you said something interesting earlier at the beginning when we first introduced you. You said that you used to be kind of insecure, unsure of yourself, and then the whole time that's been in my head, but I've been listening to you, and everything you do takes such confidence, no room for self-doubt, no room for questioning yourself. So I know a lot of women, they can struggle with these things, right? So what are 3 tips that you can give to women out there to battle the self-doubt and to build this unshakable confidence that you definitely have?
I'll share. 1, live life. My dad was an engineer, a dreamer, and a magician. And I learned to do all those things when I was little. And he turned to me one day and said, "Kiddo, how do I get my ideas out to the world?" I'm like, "Dad, I have no idea. I'm 8. Well, when my dad died, all of the inventions that he had, they took them out and they threw them all away. And I realized very quickly, if you don't get your ideas out there before you die, no one cares. And so that was a shift in my belief system. I had, like I said, not only did I have braces for 8 years, I had a tongue structure in my mouth. I couldn't talk for 2 years. So my ability to communicate is because I saw other people talking and wasting their words. I'm excited to show you those pictures. And then with my broken nose, here's what's weird about when you look at that photo. My dad slipped one day and cut his hand off, literally in a printing press accident. Spent 3 years, my entire high school, getting his hand reconstructed. Our family was broke, and I learned a lot of really tough lessons. One day my mom said, "We have no money for college." She said, "But there is this Miss Teenage America pageant." And I'm like, she said, "Yeah, well, that's not gonna work." And that was the first time my mom realized and told me, and I realized that I was ugly. My dad's doctor overheard this. And so one of the big secrets I'm going to tell you is speak your dreams out loud. Don't keep them hidden to yourself. My dad's doctor turned to my mother and said, "I'm going to fix your daughter's nose." And I then set out on a mission to save my family. I got a hand-me-down bridesmaid's dress, and I entered that beauty pageant. And you know what? I became Miss Teenage New York. Again, how did it happen? You just got to go. I just wanted it. And I think it was my very first pitch. I looked at them. I wasn't on that stage because I thought that I was pretty. I just thought I was on that stage to save my family. I went to the Nationals with Bob Hope, and though I didn't win, I got a lot of amazing life lessons, and it set me on a path of perseverance. Last year at this time, okay, and this is crazy because a lot of what I've had to do and think about has to do with my weight. I was always chunky. My mom was 260 pounds my whole life. That's one reason I'm in the fitness space. I vowed never to look like her. But last year at this time, I was 160 something pounds, 33% body fat. And I took a picture of me in the mirror and I thought, who's that old chunky lady? I look terrible. Well, okay, I let that sit. My husband is 17 years younger and a professional bodybuilder. He loves me no matter what, and I get that, and it's wonderful, right? Well, we're in Iceland in March of 2024 on a vacation, and we're snowmobiling on a glacier. We come back on this tour bus. It flies through the air and crashes on my side of the bus. My face goes through the window. It ends up on the street. Everybody walks away from the accident, but we're definitely torn. I tore my shoulder in 2 places. It was a challenging event. And 2 days later, my husband says to me, you know, in our hometown of St. Pete, there's a bodybuilding competition. I'm like, good on you, dude. He's like, no. There's a category for women over 60. And I'm like, have you seen? I didn't even say that. I was so embarrassed. And then something magically tapped me on the shoulder and said, go for it. I'm like, go for what? I don't even own a bikini. I was sexually molested when I was a kid, and I had a weird image of my own body. But something said, do it. If you don't do it now, when? And I know this sounds so weird, but for 99 days, from March till June 29th of last year, I went on a workout program 2 hours in the day in the gym lifting weights, which I'd never really done resistance training like that. And I went on a very high protein carnivore diet. I chronicled it all, and 99 days later, I lost 33 pounds, 13% body fat, got on a fitness stage in high heels, and got a medal. What? I'm turning 65 in April. Are you kidding me? You did that? And so my belief system is, one, you're not here for a long time. Do it anyway. Right. If you're so worried about what other people think, you're never going to fulfill the destiny of your own life. And then when you've got something that you want to do, tell other people about it, because that was the final straw. I call it flipping the switch. I told my entire mastermind, I've got thousands of people, and I said, in 99 days, I'm going to be in a bikini walking on a stage. And then I thought, I had no idea how to do this. But I didn't let them see that. And every day I put one foot in front of the other. Because self-esteem doesn't come from anyone telling you that you're beautiful or anything about you. It comes from you feeling strong, fit, happy, and healthy. And if you don't take advantage of that, there's a hospital bed right now filled with lots of people. My friend, my beautiful girlfriend, just passed away in her mid-50s from cancer with 2 sets of twins at home. You guys, you don't get forever. Make decisions. What makes you happy? And go for it anyway.
Nice. Wow. That reminds me, I heard you say in one of your videos, you get what you tolerate. And when I heard you say that, I was like, wow. Right? Can you elaborate more on that? Where were you, or what were you going through or facing, if that was the case, when you said that? You get what you tolerate, because that's just something I just keep repeating in my head after I heard you say it.
Every time I went out on a date with somebody because they had money but I didn't really like them and I wanted dinner, you get what you tolerate. You guys, if I had this confidence that I have today, 20 years ago, I would be right up there sitting next to Oprah. Because I'll tell you what, I played small. And even though I've gotten so many things in my life because I have some crazy innate talents, that's great. But I didn't play as big as I could have because I hated rejection, which as an actress you get all the time. Guys, I fought my weight most of my life. It was to the point I was on Broadway with Christopher Reeve, who played Superman, and they sent me to Overeaters Anonymous because I couldn't lose those last 15, 20 pounds. So I have been successful and persecuted all in the same sentence. And I don't have a whole lot of role models who I can go, all right, how am I supposed to lead my life? How am I supposed to be a mom to twins, now as a single mom with an ex-husband, trying to navigate life and doing all of this? And I've had wonderful people intersect at certain moments, but I cannot look at just one mentor, one woman who said, that's who I want to be. And even when people say, who's your role model? And we talk about Oprah. I love Oprah, but Oprah's not a mom. Let me tell you something. I pushed out 2 babies at 42. I didn't have parents. I don't have any family. So between me and my ex-husband, we raised them on our own while I was working, while I was in QVC, while I created products. And I've written this path, I think, so that people following me have something to aspire to, something to believe that it's possible, because it's challenging on your own. I would love nothing more for everyone watching this, especially to my women and my moms, to be able to compress time, and in just a matter of months or minutes, you can launch an ebook, you can have a side hustle, you can make extra money, take your kids on vacation, buy nicer presents, and stop this cycle of suffering. Because that suffering goes to your kids, and then the kids become angry. And like the kid who killed Dexter, he just didn't have a mentor, he didn't have a purpose in life. I would love moms, and I think it's our responsibility to lift up and raise a generation of amazing children. It's hard to do that when you're doing 2 jobs and you're working for minimum wage and everyone told you that you were anyway and that you couldn't amount to anything. So I'm gonna stand here and say no. You get to wake up in the morning, look in that mirror and say, you know what, I believe in you. I love you. Look in the mirror without anybody else around and say, I love you. I love your body, I love your belly, I love your tush, your thighs. You are gorgeous and you're wonderful and you deserve everything life has to offer. Because when you believe it and you say it and then you hear it and you begin to believe it, other people will reflect that. You do not need to tolerate negativity in your life.
Wow.
I love
Forbes,
that.
you've given us such a great pitch, and I'm sure the viewers as well. But did you ever, or every day, do you ever have to pitch for yourself? To tell yourself, what has been the greatest pitch that you have to tell yourself whenever you're feeling down, or like situations that you've enumerated here in the show? What do you tell yourself?
Exactly what I just told you. I look in the mirror and I smile and I'm grateful for everything. Guys, I almost lost my life last March in a tour bus accident. I feel like I'm living on a little on borrowed time. Do you know, I joke around. I tell people, they say, Forbes, can I see a picture of your husband? I say, if you don't say wow when I show it to you, I'll give you all $100. Would that be okay? Well, I didn't do Tinder. I didn't do a bar. You know what I did? I first got happy with me. Literally, somebody had said to me, Forbes, you know, I don't see love in your work. This was a decade ago. And I'm like, excuse me? I was a little bitter. I was a little angry. I'd been put down and I was still fighting anyway. And then one day I had to sit with myself and go, Forbes Riley, what would it take for you to put a wedding dress on again? How deeply in love? And then I made a list of all the things that I wanted, and not a list like I want tall, dark, and handsome. Getting clear on what you want in life becomes non-negotiable. Literally not tolerating people putting you down. If your mother-in-law says you're not enough, if your ex-husband or your husband doesn't, you leave. I have the ability to omit people from my life. I invite positivity, love, and joy all the time. And does it always happen? No. Is it perfect? No. But I was in a hotel room 8 years ago doing my fitness product, which I need to send you guys, called the Spin Gym, which helps build amazing arms, and I created the entire company, which no one wanted when I launched this. I spent 3 years developing, promoting, and finally getting this on Home Shopping. You know, I did $1 million in one day with this product.
Wow.
It took me 3 years to get there because I had an unwavering belief that, all right, lift up your arms, everybody, lift up your arms. Do you like the back of your arm? Is it a little wiggly jiggly? If I told you in 5, no, seriously, right?
Yeah.
Come on, ladies.
I don't need to jiggle too much now, but it's...
But if I told you that in 5 minutes a day, sitting on a Zoom call, which I'm on right now, and you do this, and you crank this up, and you do this, that in 3 weeks your arms are gonna have that little dip, it's gonna look a little sexier, a little tighter, you would do it. I'm in a hotel room in Las Vegas, and my videographer says, hey Forbes, do you wanna meet a 2-time world champion bodybuilder? And I said, no, I don't like bodybuilders. They like 3 things: working out, food, and themselves. And in walked Joshua, who happens to be an extraordinary human being. And I had him take his shirt off, and we're spin gymming, right? Okay, he leaves. I don't think anything of it. I'm not looking for somebody younger and that beautiful. Although I did put on my list that I wanted someone who looked like he walked off the cover of a romance novel. That was on my list, okay? And you've seen Joshua, you're like, you got what you wanted. And then he pursued me. It's the craziest thing. On Instagram, we weren't in the same hometown. We texted for 3 months, and one day he finally came out on his motorcycle. And that man took off his helmet when he arrived at my house, and I thought, oh my God, is somebody videotaping this? And then I thought, wait, Forbes, you're stupid. He found out that you have money, and he's a playboy, and he only wants you for that. That was my thinking, right?
Yeah.
He gets off his motorcycle, he walks over to me, he gets down on one, I'm like, what are you doing here? He said, I'm not very religious, but something told me that you need me. This is a boy whose dad was killed when he was 2 in a car crash, whose stepdad was killed when he was 15. He is the most loyal, amazing human being I've ever met in my life. He looked at me, he'll tell you this, that he saw an energy and a passion. We've been together for 8 years, and I found the love of my life. I paid a lot for it, but I didn't meet him until I was 57 years old.
Wow.
Don't wait. Yeah, I know.
That's a great story and inspiration to all those out there that have been through trauma, that have been through issues, but being able to see you can find love at the end of the day. So we're actually running out of time in this segment, unfortunately, but before we go, I want you to give advice real quick to an entrepreneur out there who's wanting to get into sales, wanting to achieve great things just like you have. What advice do you have for them real quick?
Number one, go grab my free gift from Forbes Riley, and I'm sure they're going to say that link, because what you're going to get is the template to be able to introduce yourself and network anytime, anywhere. Number two, have a mentor, somebody who's looking at you to tell you that the path you're on is great or it's not monetizable, because there's people out there who are willing to help you. Use them and abuse them in some way. And then finally, just get educated. What you don't know will keep you from all of your dreams. There are so many systems in place. And I got to tell you, ask what GSD is. My daughter's company, and I don't know if I can say this on television, Get Stuff Done, is how you get online. You guys need to up-level, believe that you can do more and be more and have more. But just surround yourself with, say that you're the sum of the 5 people that you're closest to. People who don't earn as much or negative, push them aside and believe that your goal is gold, and do it anyway.
All right.
Wow,
awesome.
This interview has been amazing. It has been great. But we cannot let you go without giving your information to our viewers so that they can follow you and to be able to get your book, Pitch Secrets A through Z. So can you give them that information real quick?
You know, go to Free Gift from Forbes Riley, start there, download this template. I want you to get involved. And then every Sunday, and I've been doing this live since COVID happened, I do a 2-hour training. You want to meet me? You want to work with me? Seriously? Go to Free Gift from Forbes Riley and I'll send you an invite to meet me on Zoom so I can hear your pitch and see if I can tweak. I don't know if we live more than once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
That's it. Once is enough. Thank you so much, Forbes, for joining us here on the program. It was definitely a pleasure having you here with us. This interview was great, and you gave us so much great information, and now we just got to learn how to pitch like the pros.
Come join me on Sunday, ladies. Let's do it.
Yes. All right. We will see you there. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. But now it is time for us to shift gears and go to our question of the day to read the responses of our viewers who have left their responses. All right, let's get into the question of the day. And for our viewers that didn't see it earlier, the question is, who is the smartest person you have ever met? So that is our question of the day. And we already have our responses from our viewers. So let us take a look at our first one from Sun High. I met Bill Gates once. He always seemed a little out of it until someone said something smart. That always snapped him to attention. Interesting.
Sunha,
Okay.
you just took me down memory lane. You know, I actually met him too. He went to my high school not too long ago. And
he corrected it real quick.
He did, and he came to speak like to some students and stuff. So, okay, yeah. All right. Okay, Sunhai. All right, so thank you for that. We do have our next question. Our next question, which is from Vanya. One of my past employees, the moment I met him, I knew he would do great things. He loved learning computer languages and had an intuitive understanding of them. That's hard to come by. I know that's right. Shoot, because sometimes you just be looking at stuff and be like, what in the world? But if you got it, you got it. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. Alrighty, thank you for that.
Gotta have a special brain for that stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
We have another one coming from Lauren. I'm convinced my friend is a certified genius. Got her bachelor's in statistics at blank Mellon and moved straight to her doctor's program. One time I caught her reading a dictionary for fun.
Whoa.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's when we draw the line.
That's on a whole nother level.
That's when we
a whole nother level. Dictionary fun? Ooh, child.
You might need to carry one around and have a conversation with them. You know those people that are way too smart and they be dropping these huge words and you're like, what? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Feel.
What about you?
I'm trying to remember who's the smartest person I've ever met. I mean, I think I don't remember their name, but I remember that they also were in IT. They were very computer savvy. They knew a lot when it came to that stuff. Okay. And I would say that they were probably the smartest person that I ever met.
Wow. Okay. What about you, Angelique?
For me, when I saw this question, I didn't even really think about smart, like, you know, book smart. Right. But I like life lesson smart, like life smart. So I think about like one of the mentors that I had, you know, in the past, and she gave me really great life lessons, which I still carry today. So I think, for me, she's one of the smartest.
Awesome. All right. Well, I already gave my answer.
Bill Gates?
Yeah, the same as Sun High. Sun High, we on the same page, girl. All right. So yes, I did have the chance to meet him. Did I get close? No, but at least I was there. So, but yeah, I did meet him. Yeah, I sure was.
You were in the area.
I was in the same room with him. Yes. So yeah, that'll be mine.
All right. So that is our segment of the question of the day. If you have not got to send in your responses and you would like to answer this question of the day, go ahead and send us a DM at our Instagram page, which is Breaking the Silence _talk show, and we will read your responses after the program is over. But we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
The show isn't over yet. Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
What an amazing interview.
Very amazing.
Thank you, Forbes, once again for joining us here on Breaking the Silence. You are definitely one of our girls there with your background purple. Thank you so much, Forbes. But it was a great interview. She's been through so much. She has achieved such great things, and to imagine where she started from to where she is now, she has just soared. She has achieved so many great things.
Not stopping.
She's not. And she has even got her daughter involved, and they've got their own businesses going on. So it is amazing the things that she is doing. So definitely look out for more coming from Forbes.
Yes.
And we did our Empowered Echo, so I hope you enjoyed those little quotes, right?
The little twist to it. If you have a little twist to one of those quotes that kind of stuck out to you, send them in. We would love to read it.
Or if you have a quote that you really love, but you want to be able to share it with us, put our own little twist on it. We would love to receive your quotes, and maybe we will read one of them on air and give our own little spin on it. Because we hear these quotes, right? But they're sometimes so far-fetched that it's hard to bring it back into like everyday life. So that's kind of what we do on the Empowered Echo segment. So I hope you enjoyed that. But as we always do, we talk about Kings.
Bam, bam, bam.
You cannot forget about Kings. It airs Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern with the favorite recaps Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, because we know during the week, as much as we plan to be home in front of the TV at 9 p.m. Eastern, it doesn't always work out as planned. So we got you covered with the recap. So you will never have to miss out on the drama or the storyline.
Exactly.
No excuses at all.
That's why you should miss it.
Yes, cannot miss it at all. But this is all that we have for today's program. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.